We are back like we never left. What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the dope ass dude, and I am so excited to have you all on tonight. We have a great conversation lined up. Back like we never left. Can y'all hear that? Let's see here. Hold on, we got a lot going on here. I'm so excited to have you all on tonight. We got a lot going on. We have a great conversation lined up. Just a lot of technical difficulties tonight, but we're going to keep pressing. So happy to have everybody here tonight. I think that's going to be the last thing, hopefully. Happy to have everyone here on tonight. You already know the preliminary things. If you are not subscribed to the podcast, if you don't mind going ahead, subscribing to this podcast. And while you're there, if you can go ahead and click on notification so you can be notified each and every time a new video is uploaded to the podcast. And then while you're there, go ahead and click on that like so that this video can get shared with others just like you. Now, if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, if you don't mind following me there, the Dope Ass Dude podcast on both platforms. Again, that's the Dope Ass Dude podcast on both platforms. And then just a shout out to the Go listeners on Apple and Google Podcasts, as well as Spotify and iHeartRadio. You guys are kicking butt out there. That community is growing, and I am so happy that you guys are enjoying the podcast and sharing it, because it's evident you're sharing it because it's growing. So tonight it is the season finale of season 5 of the Dope Ass Dude podcast, and it has been an extraordinary season. I mean, I think this has been one of my favorite seasons so far, and we've had some great guests on here, and I hope that in some way your life has been changed over the past couple of months, and that you are a better version of yourself today, because I think all of the messages have been intentional to inspire and help and to equip you with tools to have the best year of your life. So again, if you're not following us on Apple and Google Podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio, you can always go out there and listen and follow there. So tonight we're going to be talking about something that has really been in my life these past 9 months, and that is just reaching a place where I am embracing the new and letting go of the things that have been distractions and holding me back in my life at this phase. And it's funny, this past Saturday, I went over to Delta Blues. That's one of my favorite restaurants here in Dallas. And I go there all the time, so much that pretty much the staff knows me. And I was there having dinner. And while I was there, one of the supervisors, she came over to the table and she was talking with me, and she was just sharing with me like where she is at this phase of her life. And we kept talking and everything. And when we kept talking, she said to me, and this has been my motto for the past 9 months, she said, new, everything new. And that's where I am in my life. I am embracing the new, because at one point, I thought that I was losing a lot of stuff. And God spoke to me and was like, no, you're not losing anything. I'm just creating space for new things in your life. So tonight, we're going to be talking about and giving tips and sharing our experiences on how we've been distracted from the new. And I'm going to give a couple of tips to help you embrace your new. So let's go ahead and get these fellas on out. Omar, what's going on, man? And Omar, you got us on mute, man.
What's up, brothers?
What's up, man?
Black men.
Yes, what's up, man?
So what's been going on with you, Omar, since you've been on the show, man?
Man, just trying to take over the world, brother. Just trying to take over the world.
And how's that going?
Yeah, pretty good, man. You know, real estate's going up and down. You know, I've been tinkering with the commercial industry a little bit now, so that's new to me. So I'm starting to use that. I just want to be able to touch all the real estate.
So how was that? Was that scary for you to jump into that new arena of, realty?
Well, not really. I got a bunch of people that I look up to. What's the saying? Stand on the shoulders of giants. So I gotta people that have already been successful with it, and their success, it gives me confidence. If they can do it, I can do it. So it's, I'm just absorbing. I'm a sponge at this point, just trying to take in everything. And what's Erykah Badu say? The man that knows something knows he knows nothing at all. So yeah. I'm working on it, fellas. I'm working on it.
Yeah. That's all you can do, man.
Man.
That's the truth. That's all you can do is like put the work in and constantly grow. So that's what it's about.
That's what I'm doing, fellas. What about you, man?
Hey, man, since you've been on here, I've had these fellas on here and they've inspired me a little bit and a lot. They've inspired me a lot. And, you and I, we talk regularly and, I'm just trying to stay on the grind too and stay creative and stay surrounded by people. Like you said, standing on the shoulders of giants, surrounded by people that are doing their thing that are going to inspire me and pour into me, man, because that's what it's about too.
Right.
Yeah. Travelle, what's been going on, man?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? Good?
Yeah, I'm good. What about you?
I'm doing great, man. Just been doing a lot of work. I'm pretty sure you've seen on social media, building a brand, putting out a positive message, something that people can be encouraged by, motivated by, just trying to change the world a little bit at a time. Yeah.
Now, how does that and I know the positive thing, the thing when you are selling positivity, it's a little bit different than when you're selling ratchet stuff. You sell ratchet, you put ratchet stuff out there, you'll get 1 million views in a day.
Right.
But when you are promoting positive vibes, it take a little bit longer for people to catch on to that. So how do you stay inspired and stay encouraged to keep that going?
Well, there's people who will drop me, a comment or drop me a message and just say, hey, man, I appreciate what you're doing. It come out of nowhere. Somebody that I may not know or somebody that I may know. And there are days where I'm like, oh, God, okay, all right, I'm going to do this. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it. And then I'll do it. And then someone will be like, man, this was right on point. Or I watch this video every day, to get my encouragement. And it's like, wow, okay, if it was just that one person, that's what it's really all about. I'm not, I don't expect this to reach 10 million people or 1 million people. But if it's that one person to be encouraged, then I've done my job. So that's one of the ways that I just keep it moving and keep doing what I'm doing.
So I have to ask you a question I know you would ask me. So why don't you expect it to reach 10 million people or 1 million people? You would ask me that.
Because we live in a world that is dominated by negativity, and it is so difficult for a positive light to shine through that darkness. So it's possible for it to shine through, but it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take consistency on my part and other people's part. You have people like Martin Luther King Jr. or Mandela or Gandhi or any of these people who they started and it took time for it to have the effect of reaching the whole entire world. So, that's how I look at it. It's just, hey, I'm fighting a battle against millions of, dark spirits or whatever you want to call them. So, hey, it is what it is.
It's hard, it's hard, but I believe, hey, I'm believe that it can reach 10 million and it will reach 10 million. That's how I always look at stuff. So.
Absolutely.
So, Casal, what's going on with you, man? It's been 7 days since you've been on the podcast. Long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I really enjoyed it. So I was looking forward to tonight, man. Just really looking at just helping the community, outside of the podcast, just me. I really, started delving deeper into financial planning and really taking financial literacy to the community a lot more seriously. So since really getting licensed, we had an event yesterday, and I think that helped to invigorate me even more because I saw, the different variety of lives that were being touched just by learning a little bit of financial literacy and things that you take for granted that you think, people know or may never have access to. I mean, they eat it up, and just seeing that, it really drives you forward.
Yeah. So with that, what do you think is one of your biggest challenges with that? I know now everybody want to get rich overnight.
Yeah.
So, like what is your biggest challenge with getting people to buy into it?
So I would say the mindset of insurance is only for when I die, what I leave to, whatever covers my burial. But, you know, insurance has evolved, for living benefits. So if you have anything happen to you that impairs, one or two of the basic necessities of life, so you can get tax-free lump sum money to actually assist you with it. And I've seen it happen even in the earliest forms of that with my own mother, who, if they hadn't gotten a policy, she has rheumatoid arthritis. So it's been difficult for her over the years with some of the surgeries and replacements she's had to have. But if we didn't have that policy from back in the day, she wouldn't get the assistance that she needed. And so it's those type of, understanding it from a real standpoint where I've seen it, but it's getting others to really break the thought process that it's for when I die, and not that if something happens to me medical, then, I can be taken care of as well.
Yeah. Now, do you run into a lot of people that don't have insurance at all?
Oh, yeah. They either have insurance or they get it through their job, which is what I used to do. And then I realized if I change jobs, I lose everything that I have and I got to start all over. So, understanding that starting over fact is what really it took me to the point where I was like, why am I starting over when I could continue to build outside of a job so that it's not dependent on me being at a specific location?
Nice. And I'm like you, so I grew up in a home where my parents, they always had insurance on us.
Mhm.
When I was a kid, even if it was a $2,000 policy, they had insurance on us. So growing up, that's something that I've, still outside of work, I still have an insurance policy. So yeah, but I do know that a lot of people don't have it. I mean, we go to funerals all the time and
Yeah.
people barely can bury their loved ones because they don't have it. So wow. So let's get on to it, brothers. So before we got out here tonight, Omar gave Casal a compliment on his beard. He said he couldn't get his beard to grow down and everything. And he was like, man, nice beard. And I told him, I was like, dude, real men don't compliment men on their beards.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I like the beard too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Real men.
Terrible.
It's the beard gang. Come on now.
Terrible. I don't think I'll ever be able to get mine that long, man. Both of y'all killing the game on the beard.
I'm trying to get there.
What are y'all doing? Vitamin B, shade. What's the secret, man?
So real men don't talk about that kind of stuff. Omar, so we're gonna start with you. Do you fit into the stereotype of what they say a real man is nowadays? Do you fit into that stereotype?
You know what? As long as my wife thinks so and my kids think so, and the people that I love the most and the people I'm trying to reach, as long as they get that vibe from me, that's the most important. If you try to satisfy the world, man, good luck with that, because somebody always gonna have a problem with something that you do.
Facts.
Period.
Facts,
You can give everybody a Band-Aid, but then you didn't people were allergic to the glue.
Yeah.
True. So what about you, Casal? Do you fit into the stereotype?
No, man. Quite a while ago, I had to break that because, society is what creates these things, right? So who gave the person that came up with any of these the right to say that you shouldn't do such and such a thing? Well, it's because one person didn't like it and then it caught on. So why do I need to be held to what they like or not? No, if I like it, I'm gonna do it. If I like it, hey, I love your beard. I like the hat. Whatever it is, it's because I genuinely feel that way and not because I'm thinking about, well, can that be twisted? Can that be twisted this way? Then you start confining yourself and then you're afraid to say anything. And that's no way to live.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right, right.
And that is so true. You do like
Oh,
you
man.
start overthinking everything. You
Mhm.
don't know what to say, what not to say, because you don't know how they're gonna perceive it. Because, like you said, there are so many perception of what a man is nowadays. And the funny thing is, a lot of these perceptions come from women. They are quick to tell a man what a man is supposed to be. How you know?
Mm,
And that's not where you get the definition of a man is
mm,
from a woman.
Yeah.
Hey, I was
Exactly.
having a conversation the other day about, and this is gonna be, whatever. But I was having a conversation with a brother the other day, and it was like, can a woman really raise a man? Now, you can raise a person to be successful, you can get them through school, you can make sure, but can she really raise a man? Can she install in a man what a man can install into a son, and vice versa? You know,
Mhm.
I think that when we talk about men, it's not so much of the hit a girl upside the head caveman like the big. I think it's more of what what a man is supposed to be doing, like what a
Yeah.
man's title is, what a man is supposed to be about mentally, what a man's strengths are, and that doesn't mean how strong he are. It's just how a man holds down his family. You know what I'm saying? So some people's definition of a man might differ from mine's, but mine's don't mean some big old 8 foot, 400 pound. You know what I'm saying? That's not what. And
Right.
most men would agree with me
Right.
because most men are trying to be that kind of man that I speak of. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. And what about you,
Absolutely.
Travelle? Do you fit the stereotype of what they say a man is?
First of all you brothers on point, man. He took a lot of Casal took a lot of words out my mouth that I was gonna say. But no, I don't, and I'm glad I don't. We talk about women, how a lot of those stereotypes come from them. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that a woman can only tell you the type of man that she wants. She can't tell you the type of man that, what is really a man. Um, every man defines manhood according to what they like or dislike, their character traits, whether it's, it had to do with spirituality or whatever, I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, and I'm going to learn, not only am I learning barbering, but I'm going to learn cosmetology. I'm going to do woman's hair. Now that's not, that's,
Mhm.
you see me behind a chair, you can like, man, what this fool doing, but I'm okay with that because I've learned to be me. And I think that is the essence of manhood, is just being who you are and not falling into those stereotypical categories that, society tries to assign to you. It's literally a prison. That's all it is. Because when you can't uphold that, you now are depressed, you stressed out, you got all this stuff going through your head, and you're like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. But you allow society to put an expectation on you that does not fit with your character, who you truly are. So no, I don't fit that stereotype, and I'm glad. That means I'm succeeded. I've succeeded. I'm good.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I
right.
agree with that. And the funny thing is, like for me, I don't fit the stereotype either. And if, like when I grew up, my dad, if he was still alive, he would be 99 this year. So his whole perception of what manhood was completely different. None of us would be men if it was based on his definition of what it was. Because I remember I was like 11 or 12, and my sister bought me some red pants. Now that's common now. My dad, his head almost exploded when I had them red pants on. He was like, no, no, no. But nowadays, these are things that are common. You don't think twice about those type of
Right.
things. But if you are always trying to measure up to what someone else believe you're supposed to measure up, you're always gonna come up short. Because yeah, like I said, my dad, none of us would be considered men. If your wife worked, you ain't a man, because he didn't believe in that. He believed a woman was supposed to be at home, take care of kids. He worked, he does all of that type of stuff.
Mhm.
And some of these thought processes has carried over into the younger generation. And when I say younger generation, I'm talking about men that are in their 40s and that type of stuff. They still kind of like hide behind what they believe a man is and what he should and shouldn't do. So yeah, manhood is defined by you. You define what a man is, and if you're comfortable in your own skin, that's what you roll with.
Yeah,
Which I
I
think.
mean, if you look at it, it's almost like the different generations in music, right? So you ask, my nephew's growing up now; he's in college, and I listen to some of the music that he listens to, and then I go back and I listen to what we listen to, and then go even further back to what some of the older siblings or even my parents' generation listened to, and it's like every generation is always saying, I can't believe they listen to that. I don't understand what's going on with that. So it's almost like the definition evolves as you evolve, right? Just like if we look at, marriage in the home, right? That somebody may be great dealing with finance, somebody may be great cleaning or whatever it is. You have to kind of define what that is in the confines of there. But as it relates to a man, you have to figure out, hey, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm defining as this. And then be open to grow as you evolve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Pat said, this is for you, Omar. She said, all the beers on you guys is great. So,
That's
Omar,
right.
you don't have to worry about the long beer.
You in the game, bro. You in the game.
Right, man. I'm still gonna take some vitamin B though.
Oh my, so let's see.
I love it.
Willie said each person defines what a man is to them. I 100%.
Absolutely.
And then he came back and said the stereotypes aren't necessarily wrong, just different ideas and stages of manhood. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's evolution, like he was talking about. I mean, it's the same thing with the houses. They're talking about how when our parents bought houses, the interest rates were 15, 16, 20%, but houses were $100,000 back then too. So it's hard to compare what's going on now to what's going on then, the influences, you know what I'm saying? So it's the evolution. The same, the father in the 60s ain't the same father in the 90s. The 90s father ain't the same thing you getting in the 2000s. So to learn how to grow with basically to grow with it is it's challenging because a lot of us, we're stuck in our ways and we already have our minds meant up. But to be able to bend that is what life is, I think. So the more we're able to understand this generation and understand what's going on now, I think that's healthy.
Yeah. Oh, so Pat said, I had a man hairdresser before and it was great. Okay, so there you go. Travelle,
I got you, Pat.
That's right.
You're gonna be a hairdresser. You're gonna do roller sets. You're gonna do roller sets.
I'm gonna do everything. It don't even matter what it is. I'm gonna do it all.
That's right.
My cousin Quentin just graduated cosmetology school. He do it all.
Oh yeah.
And when you right with, but he my little cousin though. So when he did it, of course I made fun of him, but not because of that. It was just because But yeah, he do it all. He'll put your eyelashes in, do your eyebrows, your hair, everything. He know how to do it.
That's
all.
what's up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what's up. And you have to have to feel good and confident in your own self, because that's a part of what we're going to be talking about on tonight, because you can let what other people think about what you're doing distract you from reaching your ultimate goal, because you're distracted by them. You're distracted by, oh, well, they're not going to think I'm a man because I'm doing this here, or they're going to think I'm weak because I'm doing this here. Or, you can't get distracted by that type of crap at all. Okay, so fellas, let me ask you this here. So have y'all ever had anything in your life that you had to let go that was a distraction in your life? We'll start with you, Omar. Your eyebrows raised, so we'll start with you.
Appreciate that, Omar. Let me off the hook on that one. Thank you,
dog. Some things that I didn't want to let go that I had to. Man, this is gonna sound crazy, but almost everything in the world is bad for you. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I'm gonna definitely say a lot of relationships those draining relationships, those toxic relationships, but you don't see the toxicity when you're in them. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see, usually it takes an outside force or something else to make you see that what's going on in your life ain't right. So when you leave those things behind, sometimes you miss them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the people that I used to deal with, I find myself missing them. And then I realized we have nothing in common no more. And that relationship wouldn't even have be the same if I were to entertain it now anyway. But it's hard to let those things go, man. It really is.
And when you got to that place where you were missing it, was that after you had left it alone, or was it like
right? Yeah.
And how did you deal with that?
You know, I think that replacing them, not replacing them with positivity, better habits, just introducing new things to your life. You know, my daughter's, she's 7 now, so she doesn't know what she likes. She swears she knows what she likes. So then when you give her something that she likes, she like, oh, I like this. It's the whole green eggs and ham thing, right? So yeah. I don't know. That's a tough question, brother, just because it's happening. It's happened. I'm sure it's going to happen some more. And, you think it's right in your life, and you think it's good in your life, and those things sometimes ain't right. So it's like you're constantly learning, you're constantly figuring these things out, So I could say so far so good on my end, but it's every day, man. I find myself doing that every day.
Yeah. And now have you reached a place where now you can identify things when it's no good for you, or is it that you still have to go through it to figure it out?
I'm getting better the older that I get, and it's actually worse for the other end, the other party, because it's that whole, I'm not going to let that person do to me what you did to me. So now the chances and opportunities I would have gave that other person, I'm not giving to this next person. I said that before, like, I don't think I'll ever be able to have as deep friends as I've had older, because I'm not in the place where I'm not going to give the opportunity to you to do anything stupid to me. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to be that kind of negativity in my life, because as soon as I see those signs, I'm going to remove you. Like, I'm not going to give you that opportunity. When I was younger, man, you just fall and you 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 a trip for real. And you just
so let me ask you this here. Is that, and I'm just asking this as, just inquiring. So when you like get to that place where you say, well, I'm not going to let anyone else get the best of me, that same way, is that holding on to baggage, or is that a lesson you learned?
I think it's just being cautious with myself, protecting my peace. And I'm gonna do that by any means, even if it's immature, not immature, but premature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather do that than being in a situation where I'm like, man, you knew better than that. Because then I'm gonna feel bad on me. Then I'm gonna go down on myself. Like, man, you knew better than that. You seen the signs. Why did you? It's that whole fool me once and then fool me twice. Shame on me, dude. Yeah. So I'm learning, brother. I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. And what about you? Well, we'll go to you, Travelle. What about you? Have you ever struggled with letting go?
I have struggled with letting go. It was more so the ideas, actions, and habits that were founded from emotional trauma, that tend to be the force behind a lot of what you do. For example, like, if you've been in your life and you felt like you're not good enough because of issues in your past, whether, you had a parent that wasn't there, you felt like you just weren't good enough to do this. So some people give up on their dreams and just say, well, yeah, I want to do that, but I probably won't make it. And I've struggled with that a lot, because I have those thoughts in my head that are looking at the other person like, but you're not going to get to that point. And maybe that was the juice behind what I said about not getting to 10 million views. Like, it's so subconscious, and it's something I still have to tell myself, no, you are good enough. You can do this, you can do that, you can succeed. And I have let a big portion of that go. But as anyone knows who's going through any type of trauma in their life, it is something that you have to fight every single day, because as soon as you let your guard down, man, there are people out there who will feed on that trauma and continue to give it to you and tell you you're not good enough. People who
Mhm.
you might love, that are important in your life. And so you just have to tell yourself every day. You have to affirm yourself. And that's one of the things that I deal with. So yeah, it's
So
definitely a
how do
struggle.
you work on it every day? And I mean, how do you work on it every day? Because every day you're not in the slumps. Some days you feel
Mhm,
100 and you feel like,
mhm,
oh, I can take a day off from this
mhm.
because I'm feeling great. So you don't like, how do you work on it every day? Is that something that has just become a part of your ritual, like affirmations, taking time to read, listen to things? How do you work on your trauma every day when you're not feeling traumatic every day?
Well, it's a few things, and it just depends on the day, depending on which depends on what I do. It could be simple as, talking to a friend. There's been times that, I've received a message, or hey, if I'm going through something and somebody give me some people give me some stern words, such as yourself, give me some stern words to tell me, hey man, get up off your, hey, but and those are times I need that, and I'm able to get up. There's times that I do have to journal, or I do have to write, or I have to work out, or I have to do affirmations, or I have to just spend some time to myself. It all depends on, I know me, so I know what I need in that moment. And I have to give myself that. And it's that self-love, you know. And those things do help. And sometimes you don't do any of it. Sometimes you just need to give yourself a moment to just process and just let it be, you know. And those moments are necessary too. But ultimately it's about getting back up and doing what it is that's necessary every single time. That's what it's all about. So
Mhm.
Yeah, and the reason I ask that is because I do think, and even with myself, sometimes I think I have a day off. I think I have a day off.
mhm.
I really do, because I
Yeah.
may wake up and I'm feeling 100. So I don't, I don't say as many affirmations as I may say on a bad day.
hmm
I may say 20 on a bad day, and on a good day, I may say 3. You look good, that superficial crap. And then you keep moving because you're thinking, like, hey, I'm feeling 100. But we really don't realize that anything can happen throughout that day to set us
hmm
back real
Mhm.
hmm
quick. It can
hmm
happen. So I love how you said you work on that. And I wanted people to hear that, because you don't get days off. You don't get days
Right.
off when you're trying to live a good life, a positive mind life. You have to stay on that, like it's your full-time job. It's your
hmm
full-time
hmm
protecting your peace, as Omar said. That's all a part of
hmm
that. So it's no days off on that. So I wanted people to hear that. That's really cool, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Casal, what about you, man?
Well, mine kind of ties into the other two. Um, it's really letting go of myself, because a lot of, you know, to me, I'm the only one that stands in the way of any progress for myself, whether
Mm,
it's a wall, whether it's a trauma, whether it's, me telling myself, maybe I'm not confident that day, or, I'm not motivated enough that day, whatever it is. But it's so true what Travelle said with the daily struggle to do so. And we just had this conversation too, through text message about my podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's almost like, you know you have to, for me, I have to remove myself. I have to wake up in the morning and say, all right, I know I want to do this. I said I was going to plan this out and do it. I can't let myself get to the point where I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. Or,
hmm
mm, I'm feeling
hmm
this happened. It's triggered me. I'm not feeling 100%. So, I won't, I can give myself a pass, because,
hmm
subconsciously, I could speak for myself. I like to give myself passes depending on how I'm really feeling that day. and I'm working on removing those passes so that even though I'm not feeling like it, I could still remove myself and go forward with it.
Wow. So with you, so like, what is the one thing, if you look back on your past, like what was the one thing that you struggled letting go? Was it people? Was it jobs? Was it situations? Because we all struggle with different things. So what was your struggle?
I would say friendships. You know, there's a certain maturity that comes with when you progress in life, right? So when you're younger, you're carefree, you're careless, you do whatever you want to do, you have that reckless life. Then the older you get, it's like your circle starts to tighten up because now you understand, well, I'm a little older, I can't do those type of things. So then you may not be able to relate to the same crowd of individuals, and you would love for them to come along with you, but some you can't. Some you have to just say, all right, well, when I see you, I'm able to check in, but it's not an everyday thing, because then I'll start going back down to that mindset and I won't continue to grow. You know, one of the mentors that I have within, you know, the insurance agency, he said, you know, show me your closest 5 friends. And he said, if your friends aren't further along than where you are, then that means you've got to reevaluate who you're hanging out with, because you should always be striving to leverage, you know, the people, your support around you to push you further, but not keep stagnant in where you are.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that is so good, and we're gonna talk about that too, because it's something I have on there too. But like for me, so I the thing I struggle with is people. I'm with you guys. I struggle with people. Like I can quit a job and don't have a job. That doesn't bother me. I quit a job. I walk. If they get on my nerves so bad that I can't sleep at night, because I've had some jobs, man. No lie. I would be crying on the way to work. That's how mad I would be. Like, I do not want to go into this place. But at those times, I wasn't financially fit. So I had to go into those places, and I had to deal with what they were dishing out. But now, you know, like and whether financially fit or whatever, I don't know if it's just age or whatever. If I reach a point and it ain't working for me no more, I will leave it. I will leave it. Work, you know, church, anything. It could be anything. But when it comes to people, I struggle leaving and letting go of people. But now I'm beginning to even work on applying how I am in other areas of my life into my relationships with people, because I think that is like my kryptonite. And like what you said, you know, that circle of friends around you, if you're not careful with the people that you surround yourself with, you will find yourself not being held back. You'll just find yourself standing still because you're not moving past the people. Because I don't want to say people hold us back. I don't want to say that they intentionally hold us back, but we fit into places that we are no longer able to fit in. We've outgrown them and we stay in them. So now I'm reaching this point now that I realize people come into your life for seasons. And when their season is up, you let them go. And hopefully they're gonna let you go too. And don't fight to hold them in your life, because the more and I just recently went through this here, so that's why I'm speaking on this here. I reached a place where the some of the people that were in my life, you know, I love them dearly, but I was trying to hold on to them. And the more I held on to them, it's like God coming in the room and he takes the vase off of the table. And I go back, I put the vase back on the table. And he take it off again, I put it back. And then it becomes this tug of war. And then the vase breaks. And it breaks in my hand. And I'm the one with the cuts and the bruises and the pain and all that other kind of stuff. If I would have just only allowed him to move those people and not fight the process. But I think that's the emotional side of us. We get connected to people and we love them and we make concessions for them when we really should let them go. So,
Mhm.
and also learn too, like probably if I would have been holding on to those people, I probably wouldn't be talking to y'all today, because when you allow life and God and the process to move people and things out of your life, it only creates space
That's
for
right.
new things, new
Mhm.
things, new things. So yeah,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
that was a lesson, a hard lesson I had to learn.
Yeah.
Very hard.
I heard we had this individual, Devon Franklin, come to our church and speak. And he's one of the things I never forgot him saying this. He said, why are you letting day actors, why are you forcing them to fill a season long or a movie role when they're only for a day? So we try to fit people. You meet them, and just like you said, the connection, and you kind of have you feel bad about, leaving them behind, especially if you have a connection with them. But we're trying to force them into these roles that they weren't meant to play. They were meant for a season. They were meant for that moment. And then you grow and you move. You learn and you move.
Yeah. And Omar, I remember when you were on the podcast before, you talked about something like that, similar to that, like when you left Colorado and you had your friends there and everything. So you dealt with that process too, of having to like not so much cut people off, but leave behind, and so you can move on. Was that a hard process for you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's I would think that any human being, it's hard. It's hard. But it's like you say, if you value yourself and you value what you're going through, it's just sometimes you just gotta shed that, like Henry said, you gotta shed that, man. Everybody can't come. Everybody can't come. Like it's important to not forget where you came from. I mean, for sure, I'm not gonna get to a point where I think I'm better than that or those people. You know what I'm saying? But have I moved on? Yeah, I'm in a different place. Yeah, and I pray that, and I prayed the same for them. To be honest with you.
That's right.
Yeah. And the funny thing, when I heard, because, like I said, I'm a people's person. So even when you just said everyone can't come with you, and I've said that 1,000 times too, and I believe that, even that like crushed my heart.
You like, yeah, they can. Yeah, they can.
Right?
Yeah, they can.
I'll find a way.
The guilt.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, because you love them. You love them.
You
and
do
want-
though. You do, man. And I still do. I still do. It's not that I'm trying to forget them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm trying to, none of that. I just have to better myself, and in order to better myself, I have to better my surroundings. And you can't make $1 million with a bunch of friends working at McDonald's. Like, they just don't even have that mindset. Like, you got to surround yourself with that mindset. You got to surround yourself with the same kind of people. They got the same sort of goals as you, because you hang out with a bunch of people smoking crack. Most likely, you're going to end up smoking crack.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you become your circle. You become your circle. And one time it was somebody on the podcast, they said, if you can't change your people, change your people. And
that's
it
a
was
good
written.
one.
Yeah, that's a really good one, man.
Wow.
I
If you
like
can't
that.
change your people, change
Yeah.
your people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that was,
but you see what happened to those people too. The Malcolm X's and the Martin Luther Kings and the Tupac Shakur's. Those people that try to change people end up.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Ultimately, you
saying?
can't change. Yeah, you can't change
Nah,
anybody
right.
else but yourself.
Yeah.
You can't.
Real talk.
So that's
Starts that mirror
Yeah.
talk, right, brother?
that mirror talk, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
So you were saying you
So
can't change people for real? Oh, no, go ahead, Omar.
No, you. Oh, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead, brother. No, you good, bro.
No, I mean you can't, and that's the trap that we get set off in a lot of times because of our love. We try to change people, and then we end up stressing our own selves out, and trying to figure out why this person's not doing this and why this person's not doing that, and it's just like I had to learn the hard way that people gonna do what they gonna want to do, and they're gonna change when they get ready to change. There's nothing you can say, do, or anything, and if you do get a person to change because of force or anything like that, it's gonna be inauthentic. So when you're not around, they're still going to be who they were previously. So if you want a true, authentic change, man, then just change you. And it's quite possible that the person will see the change in you and then decide to follow suit, or they won't. I mean,
Or they won't.
or they won't. that's
It's that simple.
that's not your fault. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all see, I done got sad over here.
Yeah, I seen the whole energy shift over here.
He sure did.
I'm got sad
Hey,
over
but
here.
I get it. I get it, man. I completely get it, man. I feel bad sometimes too. I just, have you ever had somebody that was really good at something try to teach you how to do it, and because they're so good at it, they get frustrated that you ain't just picking it up. It's like that.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah. And,
Real
and the funny thing, I've had that and I've been that. And
Me
this
too.
is the true story is that I had this friend that, and you guys are kind of like learning me a little bit. I'm one of those people, you can't tell me your dreams. You can't tell me your dreams because as soon as you tell me your dreams, I go to thinking. I'm like, yeah, this is what you can do. You can do this here. I'm just that dude. As soon as you tell me that, I'm gonna start creating because I'm just a creative guy. So I had this one friend, and she shared some stuff with me, and when she shared the stuff with me, my mind went to work. It went to work. And I was like, you can do this, or you can do this, or you can do this, you can do it. And I think it became so overwhelming to her and for her. Like I stressed her the hell out, even though my intentions were for you to win. And I'm having to learn too, again, that if you're with people that aren't wanting to move, then you go ahead and leave those people alone. But if you are with people that don't move as quickly as you do, be a little bit patient with them and, just, extend grace to them as they are, moving in their own destiny and so forth. But if you do get to that place where you see that they holding you back, we both can't, I ain't going to drown here. No, I'm going to have to, So,
Even in the plane, they say you got to put your mask on first.
Yeah.
You ain't good for nobody if you ain't good for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or you gonna be that influence we were talking about, the vice versa. Like you gonna be that person people keep trying to shed and remove.
You triggered a thought though, John. So with being patient, because this is where I kind of struggle a little bit too. Is where's the boundary between patience and time to move forward?
That's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hey, you said it. You said it. I was thinking something like that, but you said it.
That's a good one though.
Because but there's a flip side to that, right? The flip side is being able to be conscious enough to know when what that person is doing is affecting what you're doing.
Yes.
Because it's so subtle, you won't even know. And next thing you know, you look up a year from now, you're like, I've done nothing with my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think a lot of times too, when it comes to people, we are so busy trying to inspire them and teach them. Well, we are trying to teach them. We're trying to teach them. Sometimes we just have to inspire people, and you inspire them by doing your thing and letting them watch you. And hopefully that's going to inspire you. That's like what we talked about last week. Casal, when I was like, we can choose to be intimidated by people, or we can choose to be inspired by people. A lot of times people get intimidated by people. No, I'm not going to get intimidated by you. All you guys are successful guys, and I'm inspired by each one of you guys. So I listen to y'all. That's why I ask a lot of questions about what you're doing, how you do it, because I want to better myself. And with people, everybody, you can't teach them. Somebody, you just have to let them watch you. And if that means they watching you from afar, they don't have that direct access to you no more, then that's what it means. So, after you've been patient for a while, though.
I knew that caveat was coming.
A while don't mean 3-4 years now. Let me just say that,
But you know, of course, like I said, you know your friends, and you know who they are and what they're capable of doing. So yeah. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So Laura said, Don't let no one tell you you're not good enough, or
That's
you
right.
can't have this or that, or make you feel you won't reach any goals. I think that is so
Mhm.
true. And then she
Mhm.
came back with another one. The older you get, the smaller your circle becomes.
Mhm.
You set boundaries, you protect your peace.
Mhm.
Everything can't travel with you.
Mercy. Mercy.
Yeah, you got
Mhm.
to drop some luggage
Absolutely.
off. Let's
Mhm.
see here. What else we got here? Let's see. So Willie came back. What did Willie say?
Yeah,
Put your
Words
mask
to live
on
by.
first.
first.
Words to
Yeah,
That's
live
words to
right.
by.
live by.
Yeah, words to live
Mhm.
by. But y'all know we don't do that. We see our loved one, that plane go down. We see that you let us save you first.
Hey,
Put
so
the
so
mask on.
quick story before I forget though. Like that whole minding your business though. Like and doing you first can save your life in so many instances, man. Like so many instances. I have a brother who just hopped on a girl. He pulled over because he seen some dude jumping on this woman. And like any real brother, I think I would do the same thing. I'm not gonna sit there and just let a woman
Yeah.
get beat up in front of me.
Mhm.
He jump out and help the girl, and she hop on his back, start stabbing him, talk about get off my man.
Oh wow.
So you think you changing
Wow.
something, you think you trying to intervene,
Wow.
you try to give you don't, you know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
So
Wow.
so the whole point about why I wanted to say that, I want to say that earlier, is because you can't change the world. Your change ain't the same as the change. You think you're doing something good, something better for somebody else. If they ain't with the change you talking about, it's like talking to a brick wall. So it's like
Right.
you start with yourself, like my brother Willie said. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. You
Mhm.
Wow.
start with yourself.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about letting go and just moving in. So let's say, for instance, once you let go, and of course, there's always those moments where you have those triggers that you think about it or them, because it could be a situation or it could be them. So I'm at a phase now when I have triggers and I think about things. I always ask myself now, John, why are you feeling the way you're feeling? I ask
Mhm.
myself that because I've
Mhm.
learned 9 out of 10 times I'm not feeling what I think I'm feeling. It's something else that
Mhm.
has triggered it. Maybe I haven't been sleeping good and I'm just like drained and tired, and
Mhm.
everything can trigger something when you're in there. How do you guys deal with when you have those? Did I make the right move? Did I make,
Mm.
how do you guys deal with that? Because I will start with you on that one.
So I generally try to look through two lenses, reflection and introspection. So if I'm looking at reflection, then I'm looking at my actions, the actions that I've done, right? So I'm looking at what I've done. When I get to the introspection side of things, then I'm trying to figure out, well, what was my motivation? What was my thoughts behind those actions? And I think that's when I start to peel back the onion to understand what motivated me to do whatever it is I did. And then that's when I can know, well, was that emotional? Was that, an actual thought that made sense? Was it rational? Or, I can really tell if it's a behavior I need to change or something I need to change versus a knee jerk reaction. So I try and pair everything. It doesn't always work, but I
Yeah.
try to to look through those two lenses so that I can really judge where my motives are coming from.
Yeah. What
Mm.
about you, Omar?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Man,
Mm.
What about
I just jump in the pool, man. Cover me. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Hey, I agree with what he said, man. You just have to sit back, and I think the person that takes time, just
Mhm,
even if it's 10 seconds to think about what they say, what they do, that's a life changer. That's a life
mhm,
changer. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I
Mm.
was behind this. I'm not good with traffic. I don't think I have too much patience, to be honest with you, but I'm working on it. So I'm in traffic the other day behind this old lady, and we in a 45. She going like 30, and I can't go around her because it's a one way. So
mhm.
I'm like, you know what? God just want me to go slow right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, but just
Yeah,
just just that simple of like, there's nothing I can
yeah.
do about it. Why am I going to trip off of it? Why am I letting this lady car get to me? You know what I'm saying? And I try to use that in all, aspects of my life. And if you've ever been through anything, you can compare this petty shit, sorry, excuse my language, to something you really been through. Like, some of us a lot of people have been to prison, a lot of people have dealt with a lot of things in their life that they compare life to and be like, you know what, I'm tripping. It could be worse. Life could be worse. It could be worse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm going 35 behind this lady. I was a time I ain't had no car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then you gonna become thankful, chilling out, right?
Yeah, so go ahead and tell us the truth when you finally got in front of her. You said,
hey,
he left that out, didn't he?
Look, my new thing is, how you look at them when you good.
Yes.
My new thing is I don't look at them. I didn't bother me the whole time. Nothing. And when I cut people off and they want that smoke from me, I do the same thing. I don't even look over it.
I will not engage.
No.
So, Travelle, what about you?
I bet you that makes them matter, though, bro.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at me.
Because they want the smoke.
They do.
You ain't getting that.
Wow, that's funny.
So, Travelle, how do you process that?
I think Casal hit it on the head, man. Reflection and introspection. For me, that looks like you make your decisions based on the information that you have, and you ask yourself, okay, did I make the best decision that I could based on the information or the knowledge that I have? And okay, I did. Great. Then you move on to introspection. Okay. But why did you really do that? Why did you really do that? Like, what were you really feeling? Well, really, I really didn't like this mother, and you get to the meat of what's really going on, because sometimes it can be you didn't have enough information, or maybe you had enough information and you was just distracted, But for me, that always helped for me. And now it's not even conscious. Like, it's not even something I have to do. It's just something that just happens. And I automatically like, okay, now, you really was feeling some type of way about that person, man. It really wasn't that serious, And in those situations, you got to do the opposite. Even though the knowledge that you have is saying you should do this,
yes,
you doing this is powered by you really don't like this person. So now I need to do the opposite of what this knowledge, so
oh mercy.
So yeah, man, yeah. I've had to do that quite a bit, and then people look at you. Well, why are you doing that? It doesn't make no sense. You should do that. Yeah, but I'd be using that as an excuse. I know that's the right thing, but truthfully, I really want to do that. Yeah.
Just like Casal said last week when he said he's been yelled at, and he just like, I wonder what this person has gone through in their life. No, we ain't
I heard
wondering
him say that. I heard you say that. Hey, I heard him say that when I listened to his interview. I'm like, all right, it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good.
I didn't say it always works. I'm saying that's what I'm. I try to be that way.
Yeah.
So did you guys
woosah,
grow into that space? Like, did it take a while? Like, so say for instance, you just made a decision and these thoughts are coming to your mind. Are you able to instantly do it, or were you always able to do that, or is that just a place you had to grow and master that? And Omar, we'll start with you.
Oh, go ahead.
Me? I thought, all right. What was going on? So I got it, but master something that the instant
master, like how you said you handled the situation behind the lady. You just kept your cool and you looked at the bar side.
I'm getting better. Because there's certain things that I find myself slipping, and I think, I'm not perfect. I'm working on it, but but I'm getting better. Just like today, it's so simple, but we got these almond coconut cookies that I know I'm not supposed to be eating. And you eat a couple of them, you can't stop eating these goddamn cookies, right? So I'm like, As soon as I open up the cookie, I tell my head was like, you ain't supposed to be eating these cookies. So I go to grab one and I'm fighting with this voice in my head. And finally, literally, I had to force myself to put the cover on there like you ain't having another cookie. And I know that sounds simple, but it's like sometimes I absolutely have to fight with myself. Like literally, it's an argument. It's not easy sometimes. I swear it ain't. And I'm just using that as an example, but it be like
and that applies to in life. It's not always easy to do the right thing in those moments. Yeah, and that's I loved how Casal said the lesson from his dad. If reacting means you didn't think, responding shows that you took time to think before you responded. So I love that, and that's the same thing with what you're saying is that we sometimes it just take a moment for us to be like, no, I'm not doing this here, or I'm gonna go the other way. So yeah, I get that. So
but we all got a conscience though, so it's the right thing is there first. I really believe that, because you know what I'm saying. I believe like the right decision is. Or have you read Blink by Malcolm Gladwell?
No,
really good book, man. And he talks about that. He's talking about like 95% of the time that first inkling, that first that you come up with is correct. You got to move on. You got to think on it. It's a real good book.
Nice. So, Casal, what about you? Have you always been there, or is this a place you had to grow into?
No, I've had to grow into it because clearly, being human, you trial and error. But I can tell you this, and this may sound a little way, but I have tons of conversations in my head. There are things like sometimes you play out scenarios, because if you don't play it out in your head, then it'll come out of your mouth. So I got whole movies that happen up here, and then
real talk.
By the time it reaches to my mouth, then I've had enough time to get that out of my system.
Do you overthink sometimes?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do. But usually there's more emotion tied to whatever it is I'm overthinking.
Right.
Because I'll play
You're
it
taking
out.
that much more time.
That's right. Yeah. But I'll be fighting it because I'm like, man, I really want to say this though.
Right.
Just as a point. But you got to fight against that because of, like what you said.
Yeah.
What
I'm just glad I ain't the only one.
No, you ain't by yourself, brother. You ain't by yourself.
You probably ran that old lady off the road.
Man, you gonna see her on the news and be like, right.
Don't let them identify your car, brother. I'm calling in on you. Yeah, I know him. So, Travelle, what about you? Did you have to grow into it?
Oh yeah, I definitely had to grow into it, and it took some harsh experiences for me to grow into it, and it took me discovering myself, discovering who I was, to be able to identify what certain triggers were, why I was really doing certain things, because I think a lot of us, well, for me, for at least about 30 plus years of my life, I was on automatic, I was on autopilot, and I did some content about it earlier about just finding who you really are, and about Jim Carrey and doing method acting, and how when he was doing method acting, it took him outside of who he was. He had to become someone else. So when you become someone else, you're not truly aware of who you are and what you feel and all of these different things. And when I came out of that, then it was like, oh, okay, this is why you're doing this. Makes sense. That's why you've done that your whole entire life. Oh, wow. That could have saved me 30 years, but okay. So it's something to grow into, man. Some people never grow into it. And if you do get to that space, oh man, it's like gold, man. It's like gold.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. It's no lie, Travelle, when you was just talking and you was telling about the guy, what's his name? The actor?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. I was sitting there, I was like, dang, I just heard a celebrity say that today. And it was you. It was your video I watched. I just heard a celebrity say that. We talking about that 10 million. I identify
Yeah,
as a
that's
celebrity.
10 million, man.
So,
See?
yeah.
10 million. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so fellas, let's go to the next thing. And this is something that Casal said earlier when he was talking about the guy said, just look at 5 of your friends that are around you. So I heard something similar to that too. This guy said, I can tell you who you are by your 5 friends, whatever they are. So I was like, dang, let me see who, my 5 friends are. And as I thought about it, I was like, all my friends are at this new blank like canvas, being able to create whatever they want to create. Like each one of you guys, I've talked with y'all share with me your story, and each one of you are at a new space in your life. You're creating. So, and then my other friends, I have a friend, she just retired from her job and she's about to travel the world and open up a new business and all of this other kind of stuff. And it's just new, everything new around me. And I just got to thinking like, that inspired me because it's like maybe that's why I'm attracting all these people are feeling as strongly as I am about the newness, because I'm constantly surrounded by it. And I like I said earlier, I do realize what happens when we keep occupying space with old things that need to be moved. It's really dangerous, and it keeps us from reaching where we're going. Do you guys do y'all recognize the newness of your life right now?
Yes, absolutely.
So Omar, you want to talk about
Absolutely.
Yeah, my everything's new, man. New, brand new. I got tags on my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Popping tags on my entire life. I don't know. I think some people are stuck in their ways because they're good with who they are. You got that one person that's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've gained a lot of weight. Shit, I'm fat. People ain't all sizes, blah, 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 blah. And will like being fat not because they like being fat. They just giving themselves an excuse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good with me. When in actuality, if they had the umph to go lose some weight or the motivation to go lose some weight, they actually would. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that every day, every new decision that everybody makes is, and people make them every day. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest with you. But seriously, but what I was trying to say though is, every new decision that everybody makes is new. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stuck in your old ways and you're just gonna be stuck, you don't grow. If you still 19, you want what you wanted at 19, at 45, you've done nothing. You've done no growth. You know what I'm saying? If you still have the same goals that you had when you was 20, when you're 45, you ain't doing it right. You're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Every day should be new. You should treat every day as new. I'm working on a book right now, and I can't stop writing because the last thing I want to do is die before my book is done. You know what I'm saying? It's little things like that make every day new. You know what I'm saying? Like, every day.
And I love that. I love when I hear people doing things that they hadn't been doing, and they're stretching themselves and embracing the newness of who they are, and where they are in their life, and they want to leave something behind or a legacy to inspire other people. Dude, that's so dope. Like, for real.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
dope.
Thank
I
you,
love
man.
that.
Thank you.
What about you, Casal? Are you embracing the newness of where you at?
Yeah, man. I like what you just said, stretch, because we term them stretch goals. Because Omar's right, man. If you have the same ideas, that's the way I feel. If you have the same ideas or the same thought process that you've had for all your life, then you've got to stretch yourself. And so this new season of my life, I'm learning to stretch even further than I was. Because sometimes I get a little comfortable and then I realize, all right, you've been doing this for a while. You're comfortable. You're in a groove, which means it's way too easy. You've got to push forward. And so that kind of is my caliber for, you got to stretch. I need to embrace it, let go. Now you guys may not believe it, but I don't know. But I'm an extreme introvert, so I love interacting with people, but I'm an introvert. So, but I'm up front. Like I lead a large team. I do a lot of things up front. I do other things, but I have to turn it on and off. And what I've done is I really, going to the ministry side. Like I promised God that I was gonna let go of my anxiety if he helped me with it, and he did immediately. So I had to then take that step and say, okay, I've got to live up to my part of it. And so that kind of helps me stretch myself further.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Travelle?
Well, first off, let me just give a shout out to the introverts, because I am too, and sometimes I feel alone and I feel like nobody understands me. So shout out.
Omar say he's an introvert. Omar, you say you're an introvert.
Do you see what's behind me? Like I don't leave the house.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everything I do is at the house. So I got a gym in the other room. I feel you. But I'm good. I can get around people and I'm good. You never know it. Probably just like y'all. But I love myself. I'm myself's best friend.
Yes.
Hey, your cousin tapped in. Nick.
There you go.
He said,
Nick.
"What's up, Omar?"
Hey, what up? What up, Nick? What up, Nick?
Nice. Okay, so we listening to you, Trev.
Okay, so I am embracing the newness. The thing about newness is it's uncomfortable. It's sometimes a little scary. But what I realized, and I have been to this place before in my life where I've come to a point where this newness comes about, and then I have taken a step back out of fear. Sometimes it's self-sabotage. And things of that nature. But what I realized, and one thing that keeps me going, is that I heard something the other day and it just resonated with me. And it says, we attract the frequency that we're at. And that goes with people and situations, and when I look around and I see the new people coming into my life, I see the ideas, I see the situations coming about, and I'm like, okay, you're on the frequency that you need to be at. Keep going. You're where you need to be. Keep going. So I'm embracing it. I'm also fighting through everything that's saying, no, be comfortable. Yeah. It's the comfort. Yeah, just be comfortable. Like
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
Yes, man.
No, bro, you ain't, man. You ain't. No. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go out and hang out and meet that person. I just want to lay in the bed and watch some Netflix and chill, something, But, comfort is the enemy to progress. So,
right. And variety is the spice of life. So we all need to get around everybody. And I agree with everything you brothers said. Like I said, I'm just glad that we on the same wavelength, because I be having those same battles. So it's good to know that you brothers is feeling the same kind of way, because it almost will make you feel crazy that voice in your head, man. It's like, and you're introverts like me, so that voice loud.
Boy.
Yeah, and I think we all have them voices, man, and that is so true. But a lot of times we don't talk about it, And one thing I got to give Travelle credit for, he'll hit you up and he'll be like, "How is your mental today? How are you mentally today?" And I think we've created a safe space. So that when those moments do happen, if I'm not in a good mental space, if I wasn't in a good mental space, I feel comfortable enough to just being transparent enough to say, "Hey, yeah, today ain't a good day," or "I'm not feeling 100," and that kind of stuff. So I think, I think these conversations are good. And then I also think it's good to, like you said, know that other people, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Because you'll be thinking, I know I'll be thinking sometimes like, I'm crazy. I'm thinking all of this stuff. But
man.
For real.
Man, literally.
Yeah.
But it's good and bad. It has its good times because I motivate myself. I pump myself up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, I could talk myself down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my brother here said, like, I should go to the thing, but I'm gonna chill right here and do this Netflix thing real quick.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's a conversation. You got to figure out what voice to listen to.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's call it the voice of reason or whatever. I don't want to sound too crazy, but yeah, but that's
Yeah.
basically it.
But you know, you hit on a key point there, John, and I'm glad you do that, Travelle, because I'm starting to do it more with my friends as they're doing it with me, is really checking on the mental health of men. Because, you know, the man is seen as well, now you got to man up, you got to do this, you got to have that hard exterior.
Right.
You can't let your emotions shine through like that.
Here comes that
like,
what a man is.
You know what I'm saying? But
right,
you got to release it. If you don't release
Right.
it, then that's where you have these snap moments where you make irrational judgments because you've been bottling this stuff up. So it's important to go against that grain so that we can check in and say, yo, man, how's your mental doing today? How are you feeling today? I know you're struggling with this. What's going on? Check in.
And
tap in.
that's basically what you were trying to say in your last thing is you never know what somebody else is going through.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
you never know what space they're in. So
that's right.
They could be going through something and you snap off because they ain't.
That's
I'm the kind of guy that if I don't get like somebody doesn't say hi to me, like if I say hi to somebody in the morning and they don't give me a hi back, that's my last hi for the day. Like I'm not telling anybody else hi all day. Seriously, I don't know what it is. My whole energy off, and now nope, because the next person ain't gonna get the opportunity to prove shit. You know what I'm saying? You've
used up your
right.
Hey, he boycotting greetings now.
Just petty Rutskin.
Yeah. I feel
Petty Kruger, right?
Oh my God, that is funny. So nobody else get another high.
Nobody get another high all day, and I mean it.
What?
I mean it. Or eat same thing with the hold the door for somebody, and they just walk through it, and don't say hi or thank you or nothing.
No doors for you.
No doors.
Sorry, Mama, but you might open your own door.
Oh my God!
No more doors. They done messed it up for everybody.
Oh my God!
Yep. Seriously.
Oh my God.
I'm working on it though. Because I know that ain't right. I'm working on it.
Oh my God! But you know, fellas, the thing that I love tonight, and for me, you guys are living a testament of, you know, when you embrace the process and you trust the process and you allow things to go the way that they're supposed to go, you know, things happen. You get connected with people that inspire you and people that you believe. I tell everybody that come on this podcast, our connection is much bigger than this podcast. This is just the catalyst that introduces me to you, introduce you to me. But whatever the purpose is for us connecting, it's so much bigger than just this hour we spend online. So when I look at each of you guys, because season 5 has been such a life-changing season for me, because everybody that came on here, they had like a unique story and unique, message, and and I'm just meeting these people on social media, and then they come on, and then, like I said, we're connected forever. So I'm really excited about everything that's happening in y'all life, everything that's happening in my life, and you guys are witness to good things happening for me, because I believe I think the world of each of you, and that's no lie.
Likewise.
I think the world of you guys.
Likewise,
so our time is like really gone by here, but Mr. Realtor, don't tell people. You don't give people
10 million, 10 million,
10 million,
10 million, 10 million,
10 million, and one high a day. If they don't one high
no open doors.
If you do want to follow Omar on IG and TikTok, he is out there. And Omar, I got to give him his props. I mean, all of y'all have y'all TikTok is growing, and I see y'all posting like a lot good stuff. So if you want to follow Omar on Instagram and TikTok, you can follow him on Instagram, Omar_Lewis_ the realtor. And on TikTok, he is for show shot. So you guys can go out there and follow him there. He's doing his thing. And then Travelle, you can follow him on Instagram and on TikTok too. And he's pushing out inspirational stuff every day. You know, never know when you're gonna get it. You may be asleep that night and your phone ping that you got some inspiration. Just wake up. You might sleep better.
That sounds personal.
It's meant for that day. It's meant for that day. It's meant for that day. So if you come in at 11:58 on Thursday, that's Thursday's inspiration. You got something coming on Friday. So, but you can follow him on Instagram, Bell_culture, TikTok, Travelle Williams 82, and Casal. You can follow him on both Instagram and TikTok at Casal Henry. You can follow him both there. So, fellas, thank y'all for coming on the podcast. And y'all know we talk all the time, so we'll be connected forever. But I definitely want to, because this is the last episode for a while, but I definitely want to give a shout out to Yolanda Hargrove. She designs my shirts every week. So I just put on a hat that matches it or whatever, but she does that for me. So and my hoodies, she designed those. So thank you for that. And then Willie, who's out in the thing. So Willie goes to my church. He's the sound guy at my church, but him and his wife, they're here every week supporting me and my family. I got to give my props to my family, and then just everybody. And then y'all see, I'm kind of like a little bit bright, better lit now. And that's because my good friend, Pat, she surprised me. And no lie, y'all, I think I cried like a lot now that I didn't hit 50 or whatever. But Pat called me up and she was like, hey, I need to meet you. I was like, okay, yeah, we can meet. And she was like, well, where are we going to meet? And I said, okay, we'll meet anywhere. You just let me know when you're on the way. So she calls me up and she says, hey, I'm headed your way. So I said, okay, we'll meet in the parking lot of Kroger's because I kind of live far. I said, we'll meet in the parking lot of Kroger's. So when I get to Pat had like all of these lights and had a mic for me for the podcast. And when I got in the car, I just like started bawling, crying. You know, I just started bawling because it's just like people always tell John, you hard to shop for, but I'm really not. You just have to know me. And in that moment, she knows that the podcast is extremely important to me. And she did that for me. So that meant like
that's what's up.
That meant the world to me, man. So yeah, so thank you, Pat. Thank you, Leslie, for working the chat.
Thanks, Pat.
And and then thank everybody for watching. And we'll see you guys in March. And y'all have anything you want to say? Omar, you got something you want to say? Good morning. They're not going to say it back, so you might want to say something else.
It's been a man. See, I ain't talking to y'all no more. I'm out, man. I'm out of here. Nah. But it was a pleasure, man. I always appreciate you having on your platform, man. I respect you, and you're doing great things, man. You got great energy, man, and all that respect that you put out to us. I guarantee I'm speaking for both of these brothers, man. You're a great dude, man. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate that, man. Well, you were supposed to talk to the people, not me. You got something for the people?
All right, people. He a great man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how you do that.
That's right. He a great man. Get his man his flowers while he alive, man. And push that like button and that subscribe button.
Push that like button for real. Push that like button for sure, and go follow these brothers for sure. So, Casal, you got something for him before we head out?
Yeah, I would just say support everyone on this platform because we're really trying to change lives. And John, thanks for putting us all together. Enjoyed meeting you guys. So support everyone here, man. We're just trying to impact people's lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Travelle, what you got?
I will say, man, for everybody, you never know whose destiny is tied to yours. So just treat everybody, man. Treat everybody perfectly, man. Just love them, man. You know, and put a different injury out there in the world. That's all. It's not hard. Just make a different decision. And I appreciate being on this podcast. Man, it was nice meeting you brothers, man.
Yeah. You too, brother.
Hey, listen, man, y'all right on point, man. Y'all the type of brothers I need to be hanging around, man. I love everything y'all said, man.
Likewise.
Nice, nice. Well, people, we will see you guys in March, the second Monday in March. And yeah, we're looking for another great season and all the best to you guys. And embrace the new wherever you are in your life.
That's
Get
right.
rid of that old stuff, cut those emotional ties with people you know holding you back, and push into your future, because there are so many amazing new things waiting for you. But it's waiting for you.
Yes.
You got to go grab
That's
it.
right.
And until March, peace.
Hotep.
Peace.